Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Metal and Motor Chaos. This is yours, Dave. Special guest on the line, Randy Jens, alcohol funny car driver. How you doing, Randy?
Pretty good. How you doing, Dave?
Pretty good. So you've been out of the drag racing for 10 years now, and now you want to come back, huh?
Yeah, you just kind of blanked out there. What'd you say again?
I said, so you've been out of drag racing for 10 years now, and now you're coming back?
Yeah, we're just getting started now again and trying to get on board again. It's been 10 years.
So what made you decide to come back?
Well, I've been retired now for a couple of years, and I just got going crazy about doing what I love the most. So we just try to do it again.
So tell us about the car you're going to be running.
Oh, the car will be an alcohol setup. I mean, I ran Nitro before, but we're going to run an alcohol setup, and it's going to have the KB Hemi, 526, and the 3-speed Lenko, all the good stuff in it, and just it's all Alan Johnson and parts in it, KB block, and we're just going to go out and just start doing some match racing to get, I have to get my license again and everything, and we're just going to start doing some testing this next spring.
Awesome. So what year did you start your drag racing career?
And if we're talking actually in the funny car ranks and stuff, that was 2000 or 1993.
Now, what got you into drag racing?
Actually, I was racing since I was, we first got married back in 76, fair to 76, and I had an older car then and tried it, and the car caught on fire, and we just quit it just the day after I got married, and we just stopped it right away and started working for a living for several years until I decided to get back into it. Probably about 10 years later.
So what was the first vehicle you ever drag raced in?
It was actually a '65 Chevelle. Was my first car, street car, kind of a wheel stander kind of car.
Now you raced that one on the track too?
Say that again.
You raced the Chevelle on the track too?
Yeah, for a while.
So what was the experience like for the first time going down a drag race track?
That's what got me hooked. Car lifted its front end, and I just got hooked from there on. I just stayed off the street and doing it because I used to never get I always had tickets and never had a regular license until I was about 20.
So then you got the drag racing bug, huh?
Oh my God, yeah. It just went from there, and like I said, you get married, and you kind of things just didn't make sense at the time, so we just stopped for quite a while. Then I decided to jump back into it with a front engine dragster and build a rear engine dragster, and then I finally saw the Midwest circuit, injected circuit, and wanted to get involved with them.
So you still got a need for speed?
That's what they say. I have lots of articles that used to be wrote up about that with me.
So how many years did you drive a Nitro funny car for?
The Nitro car is after we stopped, and the Midwest circuit folded up, which was MIFCA, which I was the president of it for the last 3 years, and we turned it over to somebody else, and it froze up after 1999. I ended up second place in the circuit then, and then the whole thing just folded up. And so I sold everything I had for a year or two, and I just went nuts and reinvested in a Nitro setup. And that would have been from about 2001 on till 2010, right around that area, 2009. I raced the Nitro cars. Actually, it was dragsters and everything. I ran rear engine dragsters and Nitro, and we just ran match races, actually. After the circuit was folded up, I just started doing match races with some people.
Now, how many years have you known Jet Car George?
Oh, we probably met way back in either seems like it was either in Union Grove back with the circuit or back in 93, 94, or it was up in Kakana. I'm not really sure which place we really met, but that's where we met him.
Yeah, now Jet Car George told me you were running at the Grove when that tragedy happened.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That was pretty bad. Yep, I never forget that. I was already gone several rounds. We went all weekend and went to the finals every round. And on that final day, we were supposed to race on Monday for the finals, and they canceled everything. That was pretty shocking. I had a hard time with that.
So how many years has it been since you've been in Union Grove now?
Oh my gosh. Well, we went back there and did match races in Union Grove, so that would have been in 2009, somewhere in there was the last year with them, probably.
Well, hopefully we'll see you back over there sometime.
Oh yeah, I hope to really. We're not going to travel all over like we used to, but I just want to get more involved again. And I'm not sure how happy I'll be with the alcohol. I really love the nitro, but I think I can be satisfied with the altered setup, and we're hoping for a good deal with it, and hopefully get a few runs. We definitely want to be in Chicago racetrack too and do some shows there. So hopefully it'll get along with. I have friends with Rocky with the Solid Rock car. I don't know if you know them or not.
Yeah, I know him with the Great Lakes, Great Lakes Funny Car Circuit.
Yeah, I raced with them for years too. They were part of our circuit. He was president of the circuit for several years too, and he's a great guy. And since I started this year trying to get the races, get the car ready, I failed to get it running this year like I wanted to. There's just so much stuff to get that I did not realize after 10 years of being out of it. And I just have a lot of people helping me out to get started. This is really appreciated. A lot of people over in Illinois.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you're Joe Zoplo?
Yeah.
Zopler from, that's part of the Broad Squad.
Right, yeah.
Oh, he helped me out a lot. He did a lot of things for me. And John Dunn from Dunn Gone and Racing, they helped me out a lot to get things going. So appreciative.
Well, that's the great thing about the sport of drag racing. Everybody's willing to help each other out.
That's what they do. It's just so good of them. I mean, they could have charged me a lot more for parts, or they were trying to help me get different places to get parts, and they were just so helpful. I mean, what a bunch of great guys. I mean, honestly. And my last year of racing, then I jumped over with the nitro. I stopped for another year or two, and I went nuts. And then 2011, I think it was pretty close to then, when he was running a wheel stander for a little while.
You were driving a wheel stander?
Yeah, we guys trying to get our license, and I wrecked it testing. And I broke my back, so I stopped again for the rest of those years until now.
Yeah.
And it was a little red wagon, the fire truck. It's up on board and running again, I guess. It's up there, it's probably in the Las Vegas area, I guess, now. They have been in Indy with it this last year, I know.
All right, now, so as far as drag racing go, do you have any inspirational drag racers from years ago, or heroes, anything?
Oh my gosh, Scott Coletta, people like that. I miss now that he was quite an inspiration to me, and of course, Perdome, Mole Downey. I mean, it was really fun when we was doing our circuit. We actually would be in match races with them when they were at tracks doing match races back then. It was really fun to be around them, and it was just great. So people like that, big heroes to me. And of course, John Force.
How did John Force do today? Have you been watching NHRA today at all?
No, I have not. I've been out working on the car, so I just haven't checked in on it yet. I did tape it, I think.
I know George is watching it.
Yeah. But man, once I start working on my car, I just can't stop. I just keep doing my stuff. I do have a TV out there, but I just got too busy.
So I got a message from Jet Car George right now for you. He said to tell you to behave. No nitro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you need a sponsor to help you with that. And that's a lot of money to spend. That's a lot of money. I just want to get out there and start getting on the track again and hopefully have some races with a few people again. And who knows where to go from there.
You got some years left in you. You know, you could go into your 80s like the Greek. Keep going like the Greek Karamessini.
I think he's in his 90s, isn't he?
I don't know if anyone knows his actual age.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't say that. But he's an amazing man. He really is. He's one I love to see when I see him at the racetrack. He's just the guy never quits. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I hope I can be that healthy at least.
You know, John Force is getting up there.
Yes, he is, but he's showing it. You see him jump over the fence there and kind of got himself screwed up right away.
Yeah. But that was awesome though how he went to the fans like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, he knows what it's all about. He knows the people out there, and they love the drag race and they love the personal part of it. And Forrest has been everywhere. I mean, he's done it all. That's for sure.
150 career wins, man. Wow.
Yep. That's unreal. Things I really did is being able to do stuff like that when I was younger, but it just never got that far. Too busy working and too many hours spent. You know, we was like gypsies, our whole family. So was the Midwest Circuit, I'm sure, but our whole family spent every year traveling to the races, and the kids were right with us. Even Texas places and Nashville, we was all over.
Now, do you have a crew already picked out for when you get out with that car?
I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to have a few, but we're all kind of a senior citizen type of group now, so I guess we're going to have. I really wasn't going to do the body lifting thing, but this car came up for sale by Joe, and I just had to, or John Dunn had it. I'm sorry, and I just had to buy it. Everybody told me to get that car, so I did, and we was just going to put an Alder body on it. You didn't have to do all those lifting and stuff, but I'm hoping to get a few young ones there to come with me. I think we'll find them. I do have one special one that's helped me this last year is Keith Latimer. He's helped me travel all over to get parts, so he's been really a lot of help for me. Hopefully he'll be around at the track with me.
So now, when you used to go out on the track racing years ago, did you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions at all?
Yeah, I wore a penny in my shoe.
Really?
I wore a penny in my shoe because it just reminded you of something. You know, if I ever found anything, if I found a penny or anything on the ground any time, I'd put it in my shoe and wear it. I don't know why. It was just a suspicious thing for me to wear just to keep me reminded what I'm doing. And I can feel that thing all day long and take it off at the end of the day and pull it out of there.
Wow.
I think my wife even knew about that one.
Wow. So did that bring you good luck at all?
Sometimes it did, yeah. There was several rounds. Like I said, my last year I think is when I really started using them a lot. And whether it was a quarter or a penny or whatever, but I ended up number 2 in the circuit after all those years, and that was pretty intense for me. I thought it was just great.
So now, what were some of your favorite tracks you used to race on?
Favorite tracks?
Yep.
Probably Union Grove was probably the number one favorite because, man, they put on a show. It was just great. We had the 3 days of racing, and it was just great. And Cordova was the next one in line, but we didn't get that track forever. You know, there was a lot of other circuits. UBI got that track a lot, and so we didn't get the World Series all the time. I did go to a final there against Johnny Lawson, and I was pretty proud of that at the World Series.
Now, did you beat him?
Well, honestly, I did, but it was an accident. And we let him have it because I screwed up on the lights and had him all flustered. And my car kind of backed in and out of the lights. And I did win at the top end. But the point was, it wasn't the right. They shouldn't have let it happen. I should have been called on the lights, and they didn't. They set us off anyhow because it was a part of the show. And I screwed him up on the lights, and it wasn't the right thing. It wasn't me. It was just back then we ran the onboard starters, and you had the automatics, and it had the trans brake on them, and the trans brake buttons started giving out on me. So the thing jumped the lights, and I moved back again and back into the lights, and had him all flustered. And that wasn't the thing. You should have just stopped the race then. But you don't do that when you're putting on a good show, you know?
Yeah.
So I ran it out the back door, and he just caught up with me, but I was already there, and he actually won. It was just, he would have beat me otherwise, because he definitely had the car to do it with. It was just a mistake made by me. So I felt pretty good about it. Even getting to the final with him was fantastic. I think I was kind of one of the rookie years. It was only in it for a couple of years when I actually went to the finals with him at Cordova, and I thought, that was pretty cool.
Now, Jet Car George is messaging me saying, back at back to that Grove event where that tragedy happened. He said the Johnny Rocca was driving an Iron Horse car when that crash happened.
Who was running it?
Johnny Rocca was driving Iron Horse.
Yeah, I think so. Iron Horse, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he said that's what you told him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember what year that was. It's just, I guess that was that 99?
What year was that, George? Maybe, I don't even know if George would know.
It seems like that because that was my year that I finalized number 2 in the circuit. So I think that was the year. That was terrible. But you're right.
Yeah, it's always terrible when someone gets killed in drag racing.
It is something like that for sure. I mean, I've seen some horrific things since then, too, but I could not believe it happened. You know, that's one of the things that really bothers me in drag racing is all the people that come to help you, and they get out there on that track, and you're worried about anything can happen to them, and that plays on me too a lot. So it makes it kind of rough, you know, because I just want people to get out of the way as soon as they can and be careful. Anything can happen.
George said 99 2000s.
Yep, I think that was it. 99 sounds right because that was my year. I finished number 2, and I had gone every week, every day to the final in the circuit. So, and I was real happy with that. And I went to Kakana or somewhere in the Wisconsin. Went to Wisconsin and blew the motor up there. So I was actually leading the points until then, and then I blew the motor, and that set me back and didn't get enough things better getting going after that. So that's why I lost out on that.
Yeah, like the drag racing they do these days, like King of the Streets and stuff like that. That kind of stuff looks dangerous with all those people on the starting line like that.
Yeah.
You see, they're all the way down the whole wall and everything. They hundreds of people out there on the track. I think it's ridiculous.
Yep. I know. It's not. I don't know. It's just I don't know anymore on that part of it.
But that's like a big thing now. Those King of the Streets events and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Yeah. I don't know. Is Kakana still NHRA track or Union Grove? I mean.
Yeah, Grove's IHRA.
It's IHRA?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure what it was at this time. I sure like that track though. They've really put on shows there. Good old Bob.
Oh yeah, there'll never be another Broadway.
No. they told me the first race I went there, they told me how you're going to like this guy, and he is just fantastic.
He knew
very fair with everything.
He knew how to put on a show.
Well, he sure did. And you see him get out there on one of those front jet cars with a beer in his hand. That was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Sitting on the Green Mamba.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. I wouldn't even do that. I just wouldn't do it. And he enjoyed it. I mean, he was one man that loved it.
So now, when you drove a Nitro Funny Car, what was the quickest pass you made with the Nitro Funny Car?
Well, we kept thinking it was in the 5s, but it was in the 6s. 6'1", 230. And at that time, I got my son-in-law involved and got his license, and he ran a low 6 pass with it, too.
Now, George just said that you had a nitro-injected dragster up at WIR. That's where you met him.
Yeah, it was a supercharged, yeah.
He said,
back then, it was KB Oldsmobile block I was running at the time before I switched over to Hemis, and I had a KB set up Oldsmobile block, and it ran good. It was a fast car. But I decided that dragsters were it was putting on good shows and stuff, but it wasn't exciting enough. Funny cars is where the excitement is for me. Dragster was too easy to drive.
and he said Pat Davidson had a jet ambulance up there.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, I remember that.
So now, what would you consider to be the milestones of your racing career?
Milestone?
Yeah, the milestones. What milestones have you reached?
Other than just being with the Midwest Funny Car Circuit or NIFCA Circuit back at the day is my milestone, honestly, because those were the really good days for me. And I liked my match races we did and everything, but still the milestone was just being with a good circuit and doing the races.
So have you had any accidents throughout your drag racing career?
Any what?
Accidents.
Yeah, several. Usually off the end of the track or hitting the wall. Several times off the end of the track. Parachutes failing. Brake handles breaking off. No brakes. Things like that. 150 miles an hour. No way to stop it except to hope it stayed straight, and I spun out 180. 180 on the track a couple times at the top end in Osborne, Missouri. That was an 8-mile track. Usually, with the nitro car, we ended up running probably somewhere, I think it was about 160 through the 8th, and then I got one time we hit the wall there, and it knocked me out. I didn't even know where I was at when I woke up. It went down the middle of the track and just shut off. Didn't even know where I was at. Didn't even know I was racing that day. It hit so hard. So, yeah, I've been in a few of them, but not as many as a lot of other people have.
Well, knock on wood, you won't have any more accidents.
No, the parachute's a very important thing, so we have to make sure that's right, and don't get excited enough to be able to break a brake handle off.
Now, as far as the sport of drag racing goes, do you have anything on a bucket list that you still would like to do?
Sure. I'd like to be... Who wouldn't want to go 300 miles an hour, but I just don't think that'll ever happen. But yeah, that'd be the bucket list.
Yeah, unless someone asks you to drive a Top Fuel Funny Car.
Yeah. Yeah, until Johnny Lawson gave a guy a chance to do that and get his license. I don't think he's going to hand one over to me, though. That was really awesome of him.
And John Hale's done it.
Who?
John Hale. He drove the Top Fuel Funny Car.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's right.
For the Dunn team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, do you have any hobbies outside of drag racing?
Hobbies? Yeah, I do. I got my own machine shop here, and I can do quite a bit of things right here in my own shop. I got a lathe and mill and stuff. But basically, I was and did a lot of custom cars all over the country, custom exhaust systems, all stainless steel polished. I did a lot of exotic cars in my time, in the last probably 25 years, I suppose. They come from all over and built a lot of custom exhaust, all the way up from, I think, as far as Florida. Come to bring it here to do a custom exhaust job. That's one of my hobbies, but don't really do that too much anymore. It's got to be a lot of work. When I got a lot of other things going on.
Now, have you won any trophies in your career?
Well, the trophies I got, yeah. The trophies I got, 4 or 5 of them, but basically the 3 from the Midwest for a couple third-place wins. I think one was 96, 98. Both of those are third-place wins, and 1999 was the second place for the final year with them. Those are what I've got. One from the truth with my little Horizon dragster, we had one up at Cordova on an ET race, which is still my favorite, a little tiny trophy, because that was what really got me sparked when I won my first little trophy.
Now, Randy, if you were able to do time traveling and go back in the time, would you do anything differently with the drag race career?
Well, yeah, you probably would. It's just, I love my family, and I had to have my family first. But, yeah, if I wouldn't have gotten married, I would have headed out towards California, probably, out where it's a little more of a chance to get involved. But I would have been going for drag racing somewhere along the line.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a few fun questions here. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your favorite food to eat?
Favorite food would be sirloin steak, I guess. And pizza.
What do you like on your pizza?
Not much. If not, almost plain. Sometimes I like sausage and pepperoni, but not very often. I don't eat a lot of meat, but when I do, I enjoy a steak. And the pizza, a lot of times I eat pretty kind of plain, pretty light on everything.
Now, is your wife a good cook?
Oh yeah.
So what's your favorite dish that your wife makes?
My sirloin steaks. Yeah, no, there's a few of them, but that's probably one that she cooks the greatest. She don't make a mistake, but her steaks are great.
Now, what's your favorite beverage to drink?
Dr. Pepper.
Now, do you drink alcohol at all?
Not really. Nope.
Well, what's your favorite movie of all time?
What would be my favorite movie? Hi, Dirty Harry.
Go ahead, make my day.
Yeah? Oh, I love that show. Never get old.
You feel lucky, punk? Yeah, those were classics, man.
Yeah.
You always remember those.
Actually, Heart Like a Wheel's a pretty good one for me, too.
You always remember those Dirty Harry lines, though. Even with the 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, you gotta ask yourself one question: do you feel lucky?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't want what points at me, but great show. Just love it.
Now, George said your wife was always so nice and liked to see him out there.
Yeah. Yeah, she actually ran, when I was the president of the circuit most time, she ran did the bookings and did everything from running, because there'd be a lot of times I'd be out of town for weeks at a time doing a job for Heinz. I've worked for Heinz for years, Heinz Ketchup, and when I was out in California or something like that, she'd run around getting motor parts, picking everything up. always running back and forth getting things for me, getting ready for the races.
Well, you got a good woman behind you then.
Oh yeah, she's a great woman. Couldn't ask for anything better than her. That's around 43 years of marriage so far.
So how many kids you got?
Three girls.
How old are they?
That's a bad test. But 40. My oldest is right at the 42 mark, and the other ones are 37, and I think 35 in that area. 34. My youngest, which is her name is Randy with an I.
Now, do any of the three girls like drag racing?
They didn't like them, but they went their own ways when they got married. You know, they just grew up to do other things. But they liked it during the time. During the time, it was a family thing.
How many grandkids?
Every summer.
How many grandkids you got?
Yeah, another test. Yeah. Three, 6, 7 altogether.
No, you think any of them will get into drag racing?
No, don't see that happening. The grandkids, boys, they're all in sports and things like that. And one's grown up and already going to college, and he's got other things on his mind in the engineering department. So, no, I don't see any of them. I was the only one in my family that really did any drag racing. Nobody did what I was doing. And I had 8 in my family of kids. My own brothers, all brothers and one sister.
Oh, you had 7 siblings?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big family.
It was a big family, yeah.
Now, you were the only drag racer in the family?
Yep.
Absolutely. Did your mom and dad support you when you started drag racing?
Yeah, since I was the youngest one, she was already pretty old at the time. She was afraid of everything for me. My dad kind of liked it. He went to some of the races at the time when I first started way back, but he never saw me in I lost him too young. He never saw me in the funny cars. I was just racing the street cars then. I tried, like I said, the only one that was the crazy one was my older, called Earthquake, and that was Shelby Body, and it was what you called a funny car back then in '76. Didn't flip up, it still had a door in it, but it was set up it had left-hand steering, but it was set up like a funny car more or less, but it was, don't know what it really was, but it was a crazy car. And then it caught on fire, and I just stayed out of it for quite a few years for that. Had to grow up a little bit. Jumped into it too fast.
All right, so now, Randy, what's your favorite music to listen to?
Nickelback.
So you like rock music?
Say what?
So you like rock?
Oh yeah. Smooth rock. Some of it's smooth, and Nickelback is just kind of and a lot of smooth rock. I kind of like the Nickelback group, even at my age.
Do you listen to any classic rock at all?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's all good to me. No favorite groups really, other than I should really do like kind of Nickelback stuff.
So you listen to any heavy metal at all?
Yeah, well, back then, Steppenwolf was one of my favorites. The older groups.
Now, how about a band like Black Sabbath? You ever listen to Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath, absolutely. Yeah, you had to bring that one up. Yeah, Black Sabbath, you got it.
Ozzy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how about 80s music? Were you into the 80s music?
Any what?
Were you into the 80s music?
Yeah, I was into that stuff too. I was right in it with all the kids all the time. It was right up to the up-to-date music. I like it all.
Now, going back to when you were a little kid growing up, did you have a favorite cartoon?
Have a favorite what?
A favorite cartoon when you were a kid?
Yeah, probably would have been Coyote.
Right. Everybody keeps picking Roadrunner in the last few interviews I've done now.
Yeah, that was my favorite, I think. Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, George said, ask you if you handle the tuning on your car like Tim Wilkerson.
Yeah. I do everything.
Well, there you go, George.
Yep, I like to do my own motor work and build my own stuff. Like I said, I bought the car, the frame I got this year, and I know it needed work, and I wanted to make sure it was good and safe, so I went through the whole thing and sent some stuff out and had a Magnaflux. And I just make sure everything's right before I get in and out.
So, what's been your most embarrassing moment on the track in your drag racing career?
Okay. Most embarrassing would be, and this was up at Kakana in Wisconsin. Parachute came out during the burnout, and I started backing up and ran over the parachute. I thought I ran over my wife.
Oh, no.
So I kind of kept going to try to figure out what happened, and of course the chute got caught underneath the headers. And that was when, what was the promoter back then? It was up there doing the promoting. Oh gosh, what was his name? Janine. Remember his name? The famous promoter that did a lot of promotions. Brett Kepner was there when that happened. That was embarrassing. He was up at the track then.
So what did your wife say when you told her you thought you ran her over?
She didn't think she was that big. Because I said, I just thought I was flying you right out. I said, it just felt like a big lump and it fell over. And said, well, I didn't think I was that big that she felt that. I said, yeah. It was. I just didn't know what else to do, and I had to shut her off and just realize the parachutes was hanging off the side and caught on the headers and everything else. That was embarrassing. But it's happened to other people, so I'm not the only one. Except maybe the backing up part.
All right. Now, what's been the fondest memory of your drag racing career, Randy?
I just winning 3 races back to back, or going to the finals in three races in one weekend at Unigrove. Just kind of a neat thing. That was pretty exciting to do that. And that was against wild horses. Every time we was up against the same guy. It's kind of cool, but he beat me. Except on the final, we had to call it because they didn't let us race the following weekend for the next one.
So now, when you get back there on the track next year, if people wanna come out and see a race, what's the best way for them to find out where you're gonna be at?
Probably most likely be at Cordova to start with. If not, it'll be the Chicago track, but most likely because I'm hoping to get Johnny Lawson sign my license the last time. I'd like to see him get up there and go up to Chicago and get my finalizing up there maybe at the Route 66 at the racetrack.
Well, Randy, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do this interview.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, blame that on George. George got you on, and you agreed to come on board, so that's how that happened.
That's great.
So now, you have any final words? Thank yous or any kind of final comments before we close out?
Just hope to be up there and get involved with the people I'm racing again, because I definitely got some response from a lot of old friends that hoping to see me out there. So I'm just hoping that everything goes good this final year to get going, get things all the way together, finalized.
Got any final words for George?
Just hope he shows up so he can do some filming for me.
Yeah.
And be careful. Take care of his arm that he had operated on.
Yeah, looks like it's healing okay.
Yeah. Yep. Not getting any younger. You got to take care of yourself.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm 51 now. I'm not getting any younger.
No, it just doesn't seem to happen, does it? I think my kids are catching up with me now.
The older we get, it seems like the more the body gets aches and pains.
Aches and pains, but it's all from the getting hurt from past years.
Yeah.
Lord knows you're not doing that. All expensive.
Well, thanks again for being on there today, Randy.
Well, thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
hope to see you at a track soon next year.
Yeah, hope to see you sometime.
All right, you have a great day.
You too.
Oh,
Bye.
one more thing. George said again, no nitro.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably not. No, I won't. I promise. Right now.
He keeps telling you to behave, laughing out loud.
Like I said, I love nitro, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay. Thanks again, Randy. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.